Hi friends, it's Dino. If you watched the 5th anniversary stream at all, you would have heard the devs talking about how they were implementing AI into the tutorial. I haven't seen a lot of other people talking about this or making videos about this, but that was part of the PTB. So I went in to check out, I was just curious if they did put anything that he talked about in there, and they did. So I went to check it out. The initial tutorial that kind of walks you through step by step, see that generator in front of you, go work on it, see the killer coming, go hide. That's still the same for both killer and survivor. That hasn't changed. But what they did add was these matches with bots that you can go to. As a survivor, you'll be playing Dwight. You don't get any perks, add-ons, items, or anything like that. And you just get thrown into a match with 3 bot survivors, 1 bot killer. It is Trapper. And my one critique is none of his traps get set. So I wish they would change that. I think that would be a really good addition. Even if they just like plug on the one add-on that he has that makes it so traps just like set themselves every 30 seconds. So that the bot can focus on chases, because I do think it is important for people to learn chases. I think that would be pretty cool. But otherwise, you kind of get the chase mechanic. You also get to see how some of your teammates interact. The bots are kind of hilarious, like Jake here moonwalking, Claudette sliding in. They made me laugh so much. And one of my favorite parts about the bots was anytime they hear the terror radius, they just start crouch walking. And it's so precious and adorable, and I love it. So they're also pretty good about running to go save each other. I thought Claudette was actually going to go save Meg, and I was very confused why she didn't. And then I saw Jake. And I was laughing so hard I didn't even realize Trapper was coming. And like he only goes for basic attacks. I don't think he even lunges. Um it's yeah. The bot in the killer match is questionable, but the survivors aren't terrible. And when I show you the killer side of it, they're pretty fun. But yeah, so Meg's good. She let me heal her under hook, which was nice. And then later on, let me skip ahead to it real quick. Okay, so this genuinely does feel like a lower rank match, like just a team of all beginners, because some of the way the survivors behave is just hilarious. So right now, Meg, she's a bot and she blew a skill check and ran away. And then she's so scared, and I was just like, "Oh, Megan, come back. It's okay. I'll take care of you." But she gets scared. She runs away. Um, she's just the terror radius is nearby, which is why she's crouching, and then she gets caught into the trap. So I'm like, "Oh, I'll go help her," because I feel bad. But then there's Trapper, and I'm like, "Oh, I learned a lesson here. You can't, you can't blind the bots." They gave me a flashlight in the bot match, and you can't actually blind them, which is weird. But another aspect that I actually like that they added in, once I get done looping Trapper here, which I'm just gonna give him a good old stun and then go get Meg. So now we're both injured. Trapper's gonna go after Meg. He's literally gonna just tunnel her, which is kind of funny to me. And I thought earlier, I was like, maybe I just missed it. So I was like, no, I'll try again. You really can't blind them. Like either I don't know. I get flashlight saves, uh, not regularly, but I get them occasionally. I'm really good at blinding, at like pallets and shit. Like I know how to hit blinds, so I don't know if it's just not working. And he kind of glitched out there. He had no idea. There he's back. um But yeah, so the survivor one is it's okay. I think it does do a good job of getting you to learn how to chase, and the teammates aren't completely useless. Jake and or Claudette were actually working on the building generator. This whole time they just got scared because, you know, Trapper came by. Um, and they are good about unhooking you and healing you, and like they're way better teammates than you'll actually find at rank 20 when you first start the match in solo queue. Like they're significantly better. They'll actually take care of you. But I do think like overall it is a really good way for new players to kind of get immersed and get a vibe of the actual gameplay. I just wish the one thing they would change was having traps. Well, I guess he did set a trap because May got caught in it. That was the only trap that I ever actually saw on the map. So maybe he does set them. I just got lucky. Because, yeah, that was my only critique. But thinking back on it now, yeah, Megan did get caught into a trap. So Claudette's healing me, which really funny. I'm going to skip ahead. So Claudette got hooked, and Trapper was heading after Jake after he unhooked her. And, like, I know she's AI, but I'm still trying to, like, click. But I'm literally chasing this Claudette. Like, let me heal you. Please. Like, I don't know if you saw there, she was a slither away from being healed. And I was just like, let me touch you, Claudette. Please. And then she self-cares in front of my face. Like, how Claudette of her. and then I accidentally dropped that instead of picking up the med kit. So it was silly. I enjoyed myself. It was pretty fun, not gonna lie. 10 out of 10. I do think it is a great way for new players to learn the game, and then for somebody who maybe does know a little bit about the game to go ahead and give it a try, because you can practice like looping like here. The bots, the killers, I would practice looping as a killer under the killer tutorial. For the survivor, the bots don't feel as smart. I know it's the same technology, but they genuinely feel smarter in the killer one, which I'll show you here in just a second. But yeah, this is me just looping Trapper around Shack and him vaulting, and Claudette and Jake finished the last generator. Like, they're doing really good. They're getting shit done. And yeah, we all make it out alive. Now the killer tutorial. This is something else. I loved this. So you are playing Trapper, you don't get to choose. Same with Survivor, you're playing Dwight, you don't get to choose. So you're gonna be Trapper, you do get traps, you don't have any add-ons, but you do have his 3 unique teachables, which are Agitation, Unnerving Presence, and Brutal Strength. And if you're somebody who is newer to the game and you struggle with looping, catching survivors in chases, this is a good way to practice, because for some reason the AI of the survivors in this version are way smarter than they are in the Survivor version. You'll see when I go to loop them, and I actually get outplayed by the Jake. Well, I mean, Claudette here is questionable, but the rest of them, they actually do take the most efficient looping paths at like T&L walls and jungle gyms. Ways that, like, when you start learning the game and you're like Googling or YouTubing like tutorials of like, what's the best way to loop this structure? Like, they take those loops. So that's really cool. They still do the thing where they like will crouch when they hear the terror radius. I don't think I'll ever get tired of that. It's so adorable. They do get caught in the bear traps, just like real survivors. It's so funny to me. Like, oh, poor Megan. Yeah, they're really good. I'm gonna see if I can skip ahead to the chase with Jake, because I literally got outplayed by Jake. Excuse me? I got outplayed by a bot. So I'm gonna skip ahead to that, because that was insane to me. Okay, here it is. So I'm gonna go around the corner, and then I see Jake there, and I'm like, oh, but there's also Claudette. And I was like, no, I haven't gotten Jake yet. So I go to trap this window, and I'm like, yeah, Jake will go into here. he just keeps going, and I'm like, oh, okay, holding W, going around. And he just keeps holding W. And then I think I eventually do catch up to him, but like, no, he drops the pallet. Yeah. Okay, so this is where it is. I was like, I didn't expect him to be smart enough to drop the pallet, and then he did. And so I'm just looping him, and he's like vaulting, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. They don't try to mind game at all, which makes sense. But I was just like, okay, listen, I gotta set out a trap for Jake here. Like, the reaction, like, Jake is hands down the best, other than, like, obviously a real survivor would have seen me set that trap and probably wouldn't have jumped into it. But, like, again, if you're newer to Killer and you just want to practice looping, go give it this a shot. They're not gonna mind game the same way other survivors are, but I did notice, and let me see if I can find the chase. I think it was with Claudette. Yeah. So this chase with Claudette, we're gonna go to a TNL wall, and this is the one where I noticed that, first of all, she was smart. I already said the trap, she ran away. This is when I noticed that they actually pay attention to the red stain. So I didn't have this close enough to the window to catch her, so I was trying to trigger to go back into it. And she did. Maybe it wasn't this chase. Maybe it was another chase. It was this same tile that I realized, based off of that window and how quickly they were decisioning to vault, that they were paying attention to the red stain. So if you ever want to practice moonwalking, do this tutorial, because that's a good way to like practice how the survivors see your red stain, because the bots react so quick to your red stain that it'll give you tips. So anyway, it was very fun. I'm looking forward to this being public release. You do get rewards, 50,000 blood points for every one that you do. So definitely give it a try when it is released, and have fun out there in the fog. Bye.